Hello out there, my name is Cetra Stevenson, and this month is October. It's Domestic Violence Month. So I am just going to be sharing videos, just sharing a little bit about my story, hoping to inspire or give hope to anyone that's in a domestic violence relationship or know anyone. Because I know when you're in it, it could be the shame or just or you're just scared to tell someone, and that's maybe your reason why you're staying in it. But back in 2007, I was stabbed by my ex-husband, and he's right now serving a 12 to 40 prison term. But I wanted to talk about some of the events before that. Were there signs? Yes, there were. But why did I still, stay in the relationship? I stayed in it because just, I wanted my family. I was thinking that things were going to just work out. I didn't want my family to know that, this is the life that I'm living, because behind the doors, everything was great. Everything looked perfect. I mean, we had the perfect wedding. We had the good careers. We had, looking on the outside, you'll think that we, pretty much had it all. But what they didn't know was what was going on in the inside. And I'm not sharing these videos to try to just paint him out to be the bad person. I'm just speaking the truth. The truth is what it is, and what I found out during our relationship is he was always running to tell his side of the story. And people believed it. And I never said a word because I didn't want to defend myself, because I didn't want no one to know that this is what I was going through. So whatever he said, I just let them believe that's what it was. And now I'm finally speaking out like, look, this is my truth. This is what happened. I don't have no reason to lie. The reason why I'm speaking on it, because I want to just give hope. I want to help someone that may be going through the things that I went through. And it was, a lot was the shame. I didn't want nobody to know that, me, I'm going through this. I was the one growing up, like in high school, it was like, I wish a guy would put his hands on me. I was the one with the smart mouth, like, no, you're not. You're not going to touch me. I wish you would, because there's many guys out here. I'm not taking that until it happened to me. Now what do? I have to prove to and show everybody that I don't really have it together. That my life that they thought was probably oh so great is not great at all. So to anyone that's in a domestic violence relationship, it's not your fault. It's not. It's no reason why a man should put his hands on you. It's just no reason. And if he does, just leave. I mean, it happened so many times in our house. I clearly remember one of the police officers saying, and this was years before he actually tried to kill me with the knife. Well, the knife really wasn't what's going to kill me. He choked me. And that's how, he tried to kill me. So I remember years before the police officers telling me, he was like, you need to leave, because I feel that, when I come back, it's going to be a homicide. So this was something that the police said years before. So he was telling me, like, look, you need to get out because he's going to try to kill you. And I remember years before this happened, me writing a letter, to my aunt. And I said, if anything happens to me, he did it. And this was like maybe 2 or 3 years before the incident on September the 9th. So there were signs. A lot of people didn't know, So, but, he painted me out to be the bad picture. I mean, even to my family. He would call my family and just talk really, really bad about me. And I just didn't get it. Why is he calling my family? But that's what it was. That's what most men do. They want to make it seem like you're the problem. Was our marriage perfect? Of course it wasn't. It wasn't perfect, but it was just, he had me just feeling like everything was my fault. everything. Nothing was his fault. It all was my fault. And so, I mean, it's just, you don't have to take it, ladies. You know, if I just go on and tell you like some of the things he did, that he broke my nose before. And I remember running to my neighbor's house, having to call the police. He put a gun up to my head and kept me hostage in the room, locked up, where I couldn't call off work. I mean, I was just in the room, and how I ended up getting out because he fell asleep. And I had to run out and go to the police station. And to him, it was like, well, the gun wasn't loaded. That's what he told the police. He didn't apologize about having the gun, putting the gun up to my head, and keeping me in the room. His excuse was it wasn't loaded. Like, how did I know that? You know, just, it was bad. It was bad, and I never really told anyone. I never told anyone. We worked together, and people at work would just treat me bad because they were his friends. They believed everything pretty much he said. I just imagine, you know, having to go home, not even wanting to go home. It would be times I would drive and I would just sit in the car because I didn't want to, you know, go in the house because I just didn't want to go in. And then there were times I would go to work where I would just cry and just sit in the car because I didn't want to go to work. Because to me, it was like his friends. He had his clique. And, you know, a lot of them even knew, like the managers knew some of the stuff he was doing to me. He attacked me on the job. He came up to me and took my phone. He took my phone. He came up to me, threw me up against the car, and I went and I reported it at work. And the managers laughed, and they said, "Oh, you can't prove it." Well, really? You think he's going to do it in front of people? I had restraining orders on him, and people and the managers at work still put us to work together because they said they don't get into personal relationships. So just imagine me feeling like no one hears me. No one hears me. And then after that, in September the 7th, just imagine them same managers, them same co-workers sitting on his side of the courtroom. Just imagine how that made me feel. And now I got to go back to work with these same people. How can they take his side and think it's okay for what he did to me? And not just to me, to my family. He made my kids watch. My son at the time was 2. He told me everything that happened. But people still took his side. And that's probably one of the biggest reasons probably why I didn't share my story. Because I'm like, well, what would they think? You know, because my ex, he told his side of the story. But everything that I say was proven in court. I have no reason to lie because I just want to help. I want to just inspire someone that's going through it. I know what it's like to just hold it all in. I know what it's like. But I feel so good now that I'm sharing it. Now that I'm getting it out. I don't have to hold it in anymore. And I don't care what anyone thinks. Because they wasn't there. This still affects my family. I'm a single mother now raising a son that experienced this. People talk. People say what they want to say, but guess what? I'm glad. Because you know why? Because if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be sharing my testimony. I wouldn't be using them as motivation to why I really want to share my story. Now, the shame, I don't feel it anymore. Because I know it wasn't me. It wasn't me. I didn't deserve it. I didn't deserve to get my nose broke. I didn't deserve to get cut when now I still have scars. Scars that's going to be with me for the rest of my life. You may not see them, but I see them every day. People don't see, you know, all the other things that he did. I was driving one time and he just yanked the wheel and while we're driving in the middle of the road. and said, I'll kill you right now, you would, and would nobody even know. You know how many times he told me that? It was more than one. It was more than two. You know, until he really tried to do it. You know, people don't know how many times I ran outside in the middle of the night, running, hiding, as he's chasing me down. People don't really know, you know, my story as I'm driving on a freeway and he's chasing me with his lights off, with my 2-year-old in the back seat. I couldn't believe it. I pulled up and I'm like, why are you following me? Why are you chasing me? And then you got my son in a car chasing me down the freeway. He's doing 100 and got my 2-year-old in the car. People didn't know that. See, a lot of stuff I didn't share. Because I'm like, would they believe me? Or why should I even share? Because he's going to tell people his side anyway. It's going to turn around where it's my fault. You know, I shouldn't have been going fast. People don't understand how many times I went home and he's outside in front of my house, sitting down the street with his lights off. People didn't know what all that stuff he was doing to me. But then he'll go to work and laugh and joke, and everybody just thought he was so great. But people didn't know. So I'm here to share what happened to me. People didn't know when we got a divorce, and the judge granted me the house, how he painted all the windows in the house blue and green. Who does that? Who pours paint all on the floors? Who writes phone numbers on the wall? He even went as far as putting raw chicken in the attic so that the house smelled of raw chicken. Who does that? Who takes time to paint windows green and blue? But a lot of people didn't know that. So I'm here to share my story. Because I didn't deserve it. And all of this happened before he came and broke into my house. And to this day, I don't even think he would admit it. He would still try to say that he was supposed to get in. He won't admit. He still, to this day, won't admit it, even though it was proven in court by multiple witnesses. We even have pictures that the police taken with the cut in the screen door, and to this day, he still will say he didn't do it. So that's why I'm sharing my story. And I will be doing more videos, just letting you know that you can get out. Don't settle. Get out.